Hello and welcome to AM Guitar with me, Anjay. Today we are going to look at the best distortion pedal I almost never have on my board, the ProCo RAT 2. So, the ProCo RAT is a classic distortion, and I kind of wanted to show you why I think it's probably the best distortion I've ever used, and I have used a lot at this point, but also why the official version of the RAT is never on my board, or very rarely on my board. So the RAT came about the late 1970s, I want to say, so it's a pretty early distortion pedal, and it's remained largely unchanged. There have been a few different versions, different power supplies, different magic chips, something like the LM108 or something's the master chip that everyone wants. This is a newer one which has a completely different processor in it, but basically it is just a classic distortion sound. When you think of the word distortion, this is kind of the sound that you're thinking of. And it took me years to realise that. I've gone through so many distortion pedals. And then someone just said to me, why don't you just try a RAT? They've been around forever. Just give it a go, see what you think. So I bought a ProCo RAT 2 and was just blown away by it because it'll do everything from kind of overdrive to martially crunch to saturated, almost fuzz-like distortion. And it's not very expensive. You know, you can pick these up second-hand for 40, 50 pounds, I think I knew 60 or 70. And like I said, this is the 2, so it has a different chip to the originals. I have a RAT clone with the original chip. There's not a lot of difference. If you're interested in finding out what the difference is, have a look at my review of the Gojira Heretic. So, absolutely, without doubt, probably my favourite distortion sound. But this is almost never on my board. And I thought it was worth just mentioning this because it's an old pedal, it's an old design, and it's designed from a time before pedal boards were a big thing. So I'll put a picture up, I'll take them off on this. When you get the RAT, you have 2 feet that sit at the bottom, 4 feet that sit at the bottom, which stick out. And not only that, you also have on the back a little plate that comes off to put the battery in, which has a little bolt on it, which obviously when you've got the feet on it, that little bolt doesn't stick out further than the feet. However, if you want to put this onto your pedal board, it's really difficult. I'm not going to lie, you have to take the feet. I mean, I've got on here, I've taken the feet off, I've taken the bolt off the back of the battery cover, I've then put a bit of padding in, gaffer taped over it all to try and flatten it out slightly, because there's a little ridge where the battery compartment sits, and then you've still got the screws sticking out from, the where the feet need to be. So then kind of got Velcro over that, and it's just really awkward, and nothing sticks to it very well, so it all peels off when you pull it off the board. So it's not on my board very often, I'll be totally honest. But I've got a clone that sounds just as good. And I bought that because I wanted something on my board. I use this in demos a lot. I use this when I'm recording more. And it does sit on my kind of backup board as well. Other great things about this, something which I absolutely love, is everything's illuminated. So the RAT logo glows in the dark. There's tiny little markers on the knobs which all glow as well. So you can kind of see where things are on stage. Less great, and again, something you get used to, is the what they call the filter, which is a high pass filter, I believe. And what it does is when you turn it clockwise, where on most pedals you get more treble, you actually get less treble. And when you turn it anti-clockwise, when you're expecting to get bass, you get more treble. So it's kind of backwards, but it works, get used to it. So what I want to do, I just want to hook it up with a similar setup to what I've normally used. So overdrive in front of it, and then my Boss Katana on a clean channel with a bit of delay and a bit of reverb, just how I'd normally use this. Just take you through some of the tones to show you why I love this so much, and why, if you're looking for a distortion pedal, well, let's get to the demo. All right, so I'm all set up. I'm going straight from my Telecaster into a JSA overdrive, which is off at the moment, into the RAT, into a clean amp with a little bit of delay and reverb as I would use it. So with everything at 12, let's switch on the RAT. Just a classic distortion sound on the neck pickup. Instantly usable like that. Now, if we play with the filter, so remember what I said before, it works backwards. If I roll it that way, you'll get more bass. If I roll it that way, you'll get more treble or less bass. So huge amount of range there. If we play with the gain control, we just put this round sort of round about where I'd use it. So if we go to the gain control, roll it right off. Almost no effect. Start rolling it in. It starts becoming an overdrive. You can push the high end with it, or give it a bit of body. Okay, we start rolling the gain up. Kind of pushing into Marshall-esque kind of crunchy tones. Now we're heading to that high gain territory. Still remaining sort of retaining note definition, but much higher gain, obviously. If we push it all the way, we kind of head into a slightly different territory. Almost into fuzz territory. Now the note definition's still there. There's just so much more gain on tap. So as you can see, you know, this holds its own as an overdrive, a distortion, and almost a fuzz. Now if we roll that back into kind of bit less crazy distortion, it responds really well to the volume control on the guitar as well. So if I put onto the neck pickup, so just with the volume control, because it's so kind of touch sensitive, you can really roll it back into nearly clean and then or sort of an overdrivey sound. And just with the volume control, bring it up into full distortion again. So I'm on the bridge pickup now. Now if we roll the gain right down, go into the overdrive territory, and we can start using the tube screamer to actually push it. So So you can use a tube screamer to take it from that kind of overdrivey sound into distortion really nicely. We can also use it to kind of thicken up the chug. So go crazy. So I mean, it can take you from sort of just slightly driven blues to rock. All the way up to metal. And everything in between, which makes it, for me, pretty much the perfect distortion pedal. If you're looking for a versatile distortion, just grab one and try it. Don't be like me and ignore it because it's old and everyone's got one, because, you know, when people like Dave Grohl swear by it, and when Metallica used to swear by it years back, and a lot of other players use these, there's got to be something about it, and there really is. So give it a go. If you've got one, if you've got an old one, got a new one, tell me about it. Tell me what you think of the difference in the chips. Get in the comments and just chat about distortions that you like in general. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you again soon. Cheers.